Hey there. This is a review for our Shadowdark Duchy of Ashlar campaign. This is session number 6. I had 3 players for this session. So we had Derek, the characters Derek, the fighter, Pentus, the 5th, cleric, and Endrick, the human mage. They returned to Ironwolf Keep. They in their previous session they ventured into the cellar a little bit, fought some goblins, and then and an ogre, and left. So they return there. We don't make much of it. Them getting back there, they get down into the cellar area, and they find where they had gone in before, in the main room, this main room, that there's like this table's overturned, and it appears that their last foray in here has put the place on alert. So they end up exploring a little bit, and a trap basically has been set for them. They start down this hallway, and it's barricaded, and behind the barricade there are several goblin archers. And I thought this was going to pose more of a challenge to them, but it did in some regards, but like the barricade wasn't. Pentus does this Kool-Aid Man charge and bashes down or through the barricade with his shield, and he's dealing with these goblins. While meanwhile, though, coming out from behind the party is a couple orcs followed by goblins. So they're kind of flanked. So they deal with that. It does take a little bit, but they get through it. They do pretty well. And on the other side of the makeshift barricade, there's a door on it's just a 5-foot hallway. There's a door on the right, and they go in there, and it's a chamber. And above board, it was actually the orcs' chambers. Like the 2 orcs were kind of the heavy hitter muscle of the dungeon for the Rucknar, the big bad, which we'll get to later. They search the room. There's another door out of there. Hi, Maddie. Yeah, I realize you think you need to be involved. Go on, come on. Okay. So they're in this other room. There's another door out. And they listen at the door like good dungeon delvers, and they hear movement on the other side of it. So they stake it shut and come around, back out the hallway and bang right, and they end up dealing with some more goblins. They keep searching, and eventually they find they go down the hallway, and they deal with these goblins pretty quickly. And then there's another door, and there's 2 doors in this hallway on the left. They take the first one. It leads to an obvious torture chamber and another side room, which they look in, and there's it's a narrow room, and there's goblins and 5 goblins, I think, and several humans all chained to the wall. So they go in, there's a set of keys on the door, so they go in, and they talk to one of the humans, and he says, yeah, they were, tells them they were captured by the goblins and the orcs and brought here. So they end up freeing the humans. They leave the goblins chained up. They don't end up freeing them. And what they do learn, though, from one of the humans, is that there is another ogre in this level somewhere. They talk about how they've seen 2, and the party in their conversation had told them that they'd killed one. They warned the party that there was another another ogre in the dungeon. So they free those guys. I think even Derek gives up one of his torches so they can find their way out of the dungeon. They scavenge some gear, and they take off. They leave those other goblins, the goblins chained to the wall. They go to the next door, and it's barred, and they end up bashing that down too. And it's like a L-shaped room, kind of big with 4 pillars. And they hear as they're creeping in there now. I mean, they weren't trying to be stealthy; they just bashed down the door, but they were just being cautious. Um, they um, they're called out. They hear some voice in broken common call out the word parlay. So they peer around, and there's a couple goblins hiding behind pillars, but they're backing up towards the far side of the room. And coming out is this like bald, skinny, older goblin, and he ends up talking to them in broken common, saying that his name is Sar, and he wishes to parlay with him. So they stop and they talk to him, and what he tells them is that he doesn't want to fight them. Like he wants them to help him get rid of Ruknar, which is this abyssal tainted ogre, and he just wants his tribe back. Like he hasn't Ruknar rules the tribe, and he hasn't been kind to the goblins. That's who imprisoned the 5 goblins in the previous room, and he just wants his tribe back. And he agrees to leave this area if the party helps him. So they do agree. So he tells them that back out the hallway and further down, not too far, is Ruknar's chamber, and that he's in there with 3 of his concubines, who are loyal goblin females. And they decide to that Sar is going to go in first, because it wouldn't be unusual for him to go in there, and then the party will confront Ruknar and he'll help. There was some spell casting going on, because in the previous fight, they had taken a little bit of damage. And I tried something new in this session. We mixed in a little bit of the pulp rules. So I had each player at the start of the game, they rolled a d4, and that's how many luck tokens they started with. It's probably not an exact interpretation of how it works in the pulp rules, but that's what I did, and it worked out. I used these tokens here, which I got off Amazon, which are pretty cool. These metal tokens, pretty hefty, but they're neat. So we use those. So I handed those out to the party. So they're trying to cast spells, and Pentis in particular, and he's just not doing well. So he's like burning luck tokens left and right. So them having a bulk of luck tokens wasn't a big deal, because they burned right through them pretty quick at different times. He's trying to heal Derek, because Derek, the fighter's been injured, and they need him at full capacity, because he's going to be the muscle of this group. Sar has 2 goblins with him that he's bringing, but they're goblins, so he actually can't get the spell off. So Sar is actually a caster, so he heals. I have him heal Derek. He offers some healing, because he wants these guys to win, because he wants his tribe back. He doesn't want to deal with Ruknar as the boss anymore, so he's willing to help them. So they go in. Sar goes in. They hear smell, then the party goes in. There's some more spells cast. Pentis cast, I think, Protection from Evil. Yeah, he did. He cast Protection from Evil on Derek, which was very, very critical in their ultimate success that they had. But they go in. Ruknar is this huge ogre. I used this miniature here. I used this miniature here for Ruknar. So he throws this wicked javelin at Sir Derek as they go in, but I rolled my typical rolling and missed, and then he charges forward, drawing a giant sword. Turns out to be like a bastard sword, I think. And the battle's in full swing at this point. I should say too that some point Yeah, Pentar. When he cast Protection from Evil on Sir Derek, he rolled a nat 20. So what it is, because that's a focus spell, so it's as long as you can keep your focus, the duration is up. So what I did was I just ruled that the next round he wouldn't actually have to make a roll to keep it up as a benefit of getting a nat 20. So that was just how we house ruled that. But it's a tough battle. I think Sar lost both his goblin companions to the concubines. He did help the party throughout the battle, especially when he lost his goblin buddies. Like, he definitely didn't want to face the wrath of Ruknar by himself. Ruknar was pretty tough. I actually ogres in general in Shadowdark are fairly tough, especially for the party's second level at this point, with the exception of Endrick, who's third level. They're pretty tough. They have 2 attacks, but I actually gave Ruknar a third attack, and the protection for evil really saved him because he was getting disadvantage on all his rolls. So I think I hit Derek once, maybe. I think I did hit him, but I didn't hit him nearly as many times. If I hadn't had disadvantage on the rolls, they would have been in a lot of trouble. But they ultimately defeat him, and Sar holds to his agreement. He says he's going to go free those other goblins. He'll take them far from here. And the party, loots the corpses, kind of rolled some magic. I did some improv stuff too. And it turns out that Ruknar had a magic sword that went to Derek. And we rolled randomly what that was. I should have done this above board. I should have done this ahead of time, but it was kind of like a celebratory thing where, like, oh, they were victorious, because there was only 3 of them really, and it was a tough fight. So they were victorious. So I felt like giving them a little extra, and they'd been through a lot in this adventure, like a lot of characters and stuff. So especially my buddy Matt. So I was like, oh, I'll give him some stuff, So we rolled randomly. So the Derek has this magic sword that can, I think, for 5 rounds a day, it ignites and does extra damage. So that's cool. They got a bunch of XP and some gold, actually a bunch of gold, and which was important because then we returned to Dulwich. They returned to town, and they did some carousing, and I think they did it at the 900 gold piece level. So they got, let's see, Pentus got 5 XP, and his thing is he got 5 XP, and he got into some argument with a wizard who shot a spell at him, but he somehow, in his drunken revelry, deflected the spell off his mug and thwarted the wizard's spell. And he made it to 3rd level. And then Endrick defeated a noble in a drinking contest, and he got a 5 XP, and now that noble owes him a debt. And that was Endrick. And then Derek caught a merchant cheating during his celebration, and he turned him in to the city watch, and that city watch is now an ally. And then I because we do a little bit of role play while this is going on, not a lot, but we do some to try to mix it in with what, make it fit the campaign. So he turned him into, and I'll forget the name, but it was the captain of the town of Dulwich's watch. So that she is an ally of Derek's now, and he got 5 XP for that bonus. So they leveled up. Derek and Pentus made it to 3rd level. So we have they're all 3 of those characters are 3rd level. And that was basically, for now, the end of our campaign. They still have areas that they have not explored fully. There was the area below the cellar that they went to that had the big pit in the hallway that they didn't dare cross, or didn't really have a great means to cross either. It wasn't that they didn't dare to do it. They just didn't really have a good means to do it. So that's an option. To go back, we're going to switch up games. We're going to play 2nd edition D&D with in Ravenloft, run by my buddy Matt next. So we'll be returning to some characters we had here. I don't think I did reviews on the Ravenloft stuff. Maybe I did, but maybe I'll do it this time if people are interested. We have some characters that we've been playing, so we're going to continue those. We're just going to They were made up basically in old school essentials, but we're going to convert them fully over to second edition to play. So I play a paladin in that game. So, but yeah, we had that, and it was fun. You know, I pulled the players because the death count was really high in this game, so I wasn't sure. I mean, my players are great, and they just kind of roll with the punches. But I mean, everybody has their limit, right? So I was curious to see what the effect was, and everybody seemed to said they actually enjoyed it. They liked it. My son played it the least. He only got like 2 sessions. He plays Derek. He only got 2 sessions of play, but he enjoyed it. He liked the system. So I think it is. I mean, I think it's on the list of things that I would like to revisit. And in that vein, I picked up. I mean, I think I'm going to do a review on it at some point in the near future. But I mean, I used this. This is a great. I really like this. Like, I would run this again for a different group. Like, that's how much I enjoyed it. It's designed, and I probably said this before, it's designed to be an homage to the old Village of Hamlet module and Keep on the Borderlands. And having run Village of Hamlet, it nailed it. It's really good. And I like I said, I would revisit this with a different group and run it again. I think it's a fun adventure, low-level adventure. With that in mind, because I like Raging Swan Press, who made that, I bought this book. This is all their dungeon not all their dungeon, but it's filled with dungeon backdrops. So I can do a fuller review on these. But what I didn't know when I bought that book, I just bought it because they're convenient, and the way they're written, you can just drop them anywhere. Most of those ones in that book are actually written for the Duchy of Ashlar, where this campaign was set. So I have this whole book, full of possible adventures that I could run with Shadowdark with this group, or something else. So that was really a good find, a good purchase. But yeah, that was it. I had fun running it. It was easy to prep. Shadowdark's pretty simple to run. I mean, there's a few things you got to pay attention to, but it is a relatively rules-light game designed for fast play. I went into it, and I went into it with an idea of like, could this be like a long-term game? And I guess not compared to like how we do our other games, like my CNC games, almost 4 years old, going towards 80 sessions. I don't think Shadowdark could do that, but you could definitely play it. You could play it beyond like one shots. I mean, we played 6 sessions. I don't know as if I would get years of play out of it before they leveled out, at least not the way I've been doing it, but I know some people do get a long-term play out of it, and I think there is some potential there, and especially with new stuff coming from Arcane Library and third-party stuff. There's so much third-party stuff for Shadowdark now, it's crazy. So it's a good game. Like, if you're looking and it'd be a great game, like if you're just sitting around with some buddies too and wanted to play a game and not have to worry about prepping a whole lot. It's definitely a great game for that. So yeah, that was our campaign. So I appreciate everybody watching these videos and commenting, and I'll catch you at the next one.